Hello, friends, and welcome to Echo Your English. I'm so glad you're here. Today, we're going to do something simple, relaxing, and very useful for your English learning. We're going to spend some quiet time together as I describe a normal day in my life. From the moment I wake up in the morning to the time I go to sleep at night. Through this story, you'll learn how to talk about your daily routine in natural English, using the kinds of words and expressions that people use every single day. You don't have to take notes or try to remember every word. Just listen carefully. Let the sound of English flow through your ears. When you listen, your brain starts to recognize rhythm, patterns, and meaning. Slowly, you'll begin to understand English not as a set of rules, but as something that lives, something you can feel and use naturally. While you listen, imagine your own day too. Think about what time you wake up, what you eat for breakfast, what you do in the afternoon, and how you end your day. Try to connect the words you hear with your own life. This connection makes learning stronger. I will also explain a few simple phrases along the way, so you can understand them clearly. The language will be slow, calm, and natural, not too difficult, not too easy. Whether you are a beginner or an intermediate learner, this story will help you improve your listening and pronunciation step by step. So take a deep breath, relax, and let's begin. Imagine the sound of a quiet morning, the first light coming through your window, and the gentle start of a new day. This is where our story begins. A day in my life.
Every morning, my day begins when my alarm rings. It's usually around 6:30. The room is still quiet, and for a few seconds, I just lie in bed, feeling the soft morning air. I don't get up immediately. I like to take a short moment to wake my mind before I move my body. In English, when you wake up, it means you open your eyes and you're no longer sleeping. But when you get up, it means you actually leave the bed. So sometimes I wake up at 6:30, but I get up at 6:45. When I finally get up, I walk to the bathroom. The floor feels cool under my feet, and the water from the tap feels fresh on my face. I brush my teeth slowly, then take a shower. The warm water helps me feel awake and ready for the day. As I shower, I often think about what I want to do, the work I need to finish, or something I'm looking forward to. By the time I step out, I already feel lighter, as if I've washed away sleep and started fresh. After the shower, I dry my hair and choose what to wear. If I'm staying home, I wear something simple and comfortable. A loose shirt, maybe soft pants. But if I'm going out, I pick something neat and fresh. Getting dressed is not just about clothes, It's about preparing your mind. When I wear something clean, I feel ready to face the world. Then I walk to the kitchen to make myself a cup of tea. The smell of tea leaves and hot water always makes me happy. Sometimes I drink coffee, but tea feels calmer. It has its own rhythm. I hold the warm cup in my hands, sit near the window, and look outside. The morning light is soft, the air feels new, and the world seems peaceful. It's my favorite time of the day, that quiet moment before everything starts moving. While I drink my tea, I sometimes check my phone. I read messages, reply to a few, or just see what's happening. But I try not to spend too much time on the screen. Instead, I take out my small notebook and make a short to-do list. A to-do list means a list of tasks or things I want to finish today. I usually write 3 or 4 simple goals, nothing too big. Writing them down helps me stay organized. The phrase "stay organized" means keeping your day and your thoughts clear and in order. When I plan even a little, I feel more focused. After that, I take another sip of tea and breathe deeply. I like this small space of silence, the sound of birds outside, the golden light in the room, and the feeling that the day is beginning fresh. It reminds me that every morning is a new chance to start again. Sometimes I say to myself quietly, "Let's make today a good day." It's a simple sentence, but it gives me energy. And with that thought, I stand up, stretch my arms, and get ready to move into the day, step by step, moment by moment.
After I finish my morning tea and write my to-do list, I walk back to the kitchen to prepare breakfast. The kitchen feels brighter now, filled with morning light. I open the window and a soft breeze comes in. It's quiet, except for the sound of the kettle boiling. I like that sound. It's like a soft reminder that the day has really begun. Most mornings, I like to eat something simple. Sometimes I toast 2 slices of bread and spread butter and jam on top. Other days, I make scrambled eggs or eat a banana with a glass of milk. When I'm busy or late, I just grab something quick, maybe a cookie or some fruit. In English, when we say grab something to eat, it means we eat quickly because we don't have much time. As I eat, I think about my plan for the day. What do I need to finish first? Do I have any meetings or work deadlines? These small questions help me focus my thoughts. Eating breakfast while organizing your mind makes the start of the day calm and clear. Sometimes I listen to soft music while I eat. On other days, I listen to an English podcast, just like this one. Listening to English while you do small daily activities helps you improve your understanding naturally. You don't have to translate every word. Just listen and let the rhythm of the language stay with you. The more your ears hear English, the more your brain gets used to it. After finishing breakfast, I clean my plate and wipe the table.
I like to keep my kitchen neat. When my surroundings are clean, my mind also feels clear. I quickly wash the dishes, dry my hands, and smile a little. There's a small sense of satisfaction in starting the day this way, clean, fresh, and focused. Before I begin my work, I sometimes stand near the window again and look outside. The world is now awake. People walking, cars moving, children laughing. Everyone is starting their day in their own way. And in that moment, I feel connected to the world, to the day, and to myself. With that feeling of quiet energy, I step toward my desk, ready to begin my work.
After breakfast, I walk to my desk and sit down. This is usually the time I begin my work for the day. If you are a student, this might be the moment you start studying. I like to keep my workspace clean and simple. Just my laptop, a notebook, and a bottle of water. The fewer things on my table, the easier it is to think clearly. The first thing I usually do is check my emails. In English, we say check my emails to mean reading new messages that have arrived in your inbox. I reply to a few of them and delete the ones that are not important. After that, I open my notebook and look at my to-do list. I remind myself what my main tasks are for the day. The phrase main tasks means the most important things you want to complete. For example, you can say, my main task today is to study English for 1 hour. Or you can say, my main task is to finish a project. Once I know what I want to do, I take a deep breath and begin. Sometimes I write. Sometimes I prepare lessons or record something for my work. When I'm focused, time passes quickly. But focus doesn't always come easily. There are many distractions: my phone, messages, or random thoughts. The word distraction means something that pulls your attention away from what you want to do. To stay focused, I keep my phone far from my desk. When I feel like checking it, I tell myself, not now, I'll check later. That small decision makes a big difference. After about an hour, I take a short break. Taking breaks is very important when you're working or studying for long hours. In English, we say take a break when we stop for a few minutes to rest. During my break, I stretch my arms, look outside the window, or walk around the room. Sometimes I close my eyes and breathe slowly for a minute. It helps me feel fresh again. When you rest your eyes and body, your mind becomes clearer too.
Then I come back to my desk and continue. I try to finish one task at a time. Many people try to do several things at once, but it often makes you tired and confused. It's better to focus on one thing until it's done. You can say, I like to focus on one task at a time. The word focus means giving your full attention to one thing. As the hours pass, I drink water often and keep my posture straight. I remind myself to sit up properly. It helps me stay alert. Sometimes I listen to soft background music while I work. It helps me stay in rhythm without feeling rushed. While working, I often notice how silence helps me think. We live in a world full of noise, messages, videos, notifications. But when I turn everything off and work quietly, I can hear my thoughts more clearly. That's when my best ideas come. So I try to create that quiet space every day, even if it's just for an hour or two. When I finish a big task, I like to tick it off from my list. That small tick mark feels like a little victory. It reminds me that progress happens in small steps, not all at once. By the time I look at the clock again, it's usually late morning or close to lunchtime. My stomach starts to feel hungry and my mind begins to slow down a little. It's the perfect time to step away from work for a while and give my brain a gentle pause.
When the clock reaches around 1 o'clock, I know it's time for lunch. I stand up, stretch my arms, and walk to the kitchen. My body feels ready for a little rest after working all morning. The sunlight outside is brighter now, and the air feels warm. I open the window again to let some fresh air in. Preparing lunch is one of my favorite parts of the day. I like cooking simple food, something easy but fresh. Sometimes I make rice and vegetables. Sometimes I cook pasta or noodles. On other days, I prepare a bowl of salad. While cooking, I often listen to some soft music or a calm podcast in English. Listening to English while doing small activities helps me stay connected to the language naturally. I don't focus too hard. I just let it play in the background, like a friend talking softly while I cook. When everything is ready, I sit at the table and enjoy my meal slowly. I try not to use my phone while eating. I like to give my mind a break from screens. I just sit, eat, and breathe. The taste of warm food after a few hours of work feels comforting. Sometimes I think about small things, like the colors of the food, the smell of the spices, or the way the light falls on the table. These quiet moments make the day feel peaceful. After I finish eating, I clean up the table and wash the dishes. In English, you can say, I did the dishes, or I washed the dishes.
both mean the same thing. I wipe the counter, dry the plates, and put everything back in its place. Keeping the kitchen clean after eating gives me a sense of order. When things are tidy around me, I feel calm inside too. As the sun begins to move lower in the sky, I start to end my work. In English, we often say, I wrap up my work, which means to finish or complete what I've been doing. I save my files, close my laptop, and stretch my body. It feels good to move after sitting for many hours. Sometimes I take a deep breath and just stand for a few seconds, feeling grateful that I could finish what I planned for the day. After wrapping up, I look outside. The light has changed. It's softer now, more golden. The world feels slower. I like to go for a short walk in the evening. Walking helps me clear my mind after a full day of thinking and working. The phrase, clear my mind, means to remove all the busy thoughts that fill your head. As I walk, I listen to the sounds around me. Footsteps, leaves moving in the wind, maybe a dog barking in the distance. There's something peaceful about just being outside without any rush. Sometimes I walk to a nearby park or around my neighborhood. I don't walk fast, I move slowly, breathing in the fresh air. The evening air feels cool and gentle on my face. During this walk, I often think about my day, what went well, what could have been better, and what I'm thankful for. It's not about judging the day, just noticing it. This small reflection helps me feel calm and centered. When I return home, I wash my hands and face. Then, I prepare a light snack, maybe a few biscuits, a piece of fruit, or a cup of tea. In English, we call this a snack, which means a small amount of food that you eat between meals. I sit down with my tea and just relax for a while. Sometimes I scroll through my phone or watch a few short videos. Other times, I just sit quietly and think. If I have some extra time, I like to do something creative or enjoyable. Sometimes I read a few pages of a book, or listen to a calm podcast, or write something in my notebook. These small evening moments are like soft landings after a long day. They help me slow down gently. By now, the sky is darker and lights begin to appear in the windows around me. I love that time when the world slowly moves from day into night. It's a reminder that everything has its rhythm: work and rest, light and dark, sound and silence. If I have any leftover work, I finish small tasks but avoid starting anything new. Evenings are for rest, not for rushing. I sometimes tidy my desk a little so it looks clean for the next morning. A clean space makes the next day feel easier. And then, when I feel ready,
I start preparing dinner.
When evening turns into night, the world outside becomes quieter. I walk back to the kitchen to prepare my dinner. My dinners are usually light, something easy to digest, like soup, rice with vegetables, or sometimes just bread with a bit of butter and tea. I like to keep it simple. I sit at the table, eat slowly, and enjoy the quietness around me. The day has already given me enough movement. Now I just want peace. After dinner, I wash the dishes again and clean the table. I don't like leaving things dirty overnight. When the kitchen is clean, the whole home feels calm. Once everything is in order, I sit down for a few minutes of quiet time. Sometimes I light a small candle. Sometimes I just sit in silence. I take a few deep breaths and feel thankful for the day that has passed. After a while, I take an evening shower. The warm water feels comforting, washing away all the tiredness from the day. When I step out, I feel lighter, both in body and mind. I put on my soft, comfortable clothes, usually a t-shirt and pajamas. The air feels cool and gentle on my skin. It's a small but beautiful feeling, the comfort of being home, clean, and ready to rest.
Then I take my journal and write a few lines about my day. A journal is a small notebook where I write down my thoughts, plans, or reflections. Sometimes I write simple things like, "I finished my work today," or "The evening walk made me feel peaceful." Writing even a few lines helps me see my thoughts clearly. It's like talking to yourself quietly, honestly. After journaling, I turn off the main light and switch on a small lamp beside my bed. I often read a few pages from a book. Reading at night feels different. The world is quiet, and your mind becomes softer, more open. I don't read to study, I read to relax. When my eyes start to feel heavy, I know it's time to sleep. Before sleeping, I like to put my phone away. Looking at screens before bed makes it harder to rest, so I keep my phone at a distance. I take one last deep breath and think of 3 small things I'm grateful for. It could be a warm cup of tea, a kind message from someone, or just a peaceful moment I had during the day. Feeling grateful makes sleep gentle and full of calmness. Then, I close my eyes and say quietly to myself, "Tomorrow will be another good day." It's a simple thought, but it fills me with peace. The room is dark, the world is silent, and I slowly drift into sleep, calm, rested, and ready for a new beginning.
So, that
was a simple day in my life, from morning to night. Maybe it sounded familiar to you because most of our days are made up of small, ordinary moments like these. But when we describe them in English, something magical happens. We start to see that learning a language is not about memorizing difficult words or perfect grammar. It's about living the language, using it to describe your own life, your own thoughts, and your own world. If you noticed, every part of my day included simple expressions like wake up, get up, make tea, have breakfast, check emails, take a walk, go to bed. These are everyday phrases, but they are the foundation of fluent English. When you use them naturally, you begin to sound like someone who lives in English, not someone who's only studying it. Listening to stories like this one trains your ears to recognize rhythm and flow. You begin to understand how sentences connect, how pauses create meaning, and how words can carry emotion. Even if you don't understand every single word, don't worry. Your brain is still learning. Every minute you spend listening is helping your mind absorb patterns that will later come out naturally when you speak.
Now, I want you to think about your day. What time do you wake up? What do you eat for breakfast? What kind of work or study do you do? How do you spend your evenings? Try saying it out loud in English, even if it's just a few sentences. You can say, I wake up at 7. I brush my teeth. I go to work. I come back home. I eat dinner and go to sleep. It doesn't need to be perfect. The goal is not perfection. It's connection. When you connect your real life with English words, learning becomes natural and easy. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Mistakes are not signs of failure. They are signs of progress. Every time you speak, listen, or write, you're training your brain to get better. Language learning is not a race. It's a rhythm. You move at your own pace, step by step, word by word, and that's perfectly fine. So, as you listen to this story again, maybe tomorrow or the day after, try to picture your own life in these sentences. Feel how English can describe your world, your thoughts, and your small joys. Every new word you learn is like a seed that grows quietly inside you. The more you listen, the stronger it becomes. You're already improving right now, in this moment, just by listening. Be patient with yourself. Stay curious. And remember, English is not just a subject. It's a way to express who you are.
Thank you for spending this time with me today. I hope this story helped you relax, listen, and learn something new. If you enjoyed it, listen again tomorrow. Each time, you'll understand a little more and feel more confident. That's how language learning works: slowly, gently, and naturally. If you're new here, don't forget to follow or subscribe to Echo Your English. I'll be here again with more calm stories, more listening practice, and more real-life English you can use every day. You can also share this episode with a friend who's learning. Learning together always feels easier and more fun. Until next time, keep listening, keep smiling, and remember, English is not just something you study, it's something you live. This is Echo Your English, your space to listen, relax, and grow with the language, one word at a time.